You are listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Thursday the 10th of July, 2025. It is 20 days after the summer solstice. It is 74 days before the fall equinox. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 22nd day of Messidor, the day of the cumin, the cumin. The sun rises today at 5:32 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 1:01 p.m. The sun sets today at 8:29 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 9:01 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 9:42 p.m. The length of daytime today is 1 minute, 7 seconds shorter than yesterday. Today the full moon arrives at 4:37 p.m. According to the Farmer's Almanac, this is the full buck moon. The third quarter will arrive on Thursday, the 17th of July. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the wee hours, low tide, 4:33 a.m., 9 centimeters. In the morning, high tide, 10:47 a.m., 1 meter 34. In the afternoon, low tide, 4:37 p.m., 24 centimeters. At night, high tide, 10:56 p.m., 1 meter 65. In our shared realm of plants and animals, now that we are well into the dog days of summer and the hottest days of the year are here, you can observe that many plants are feeling stressed. Many bushes around houses in the neighborhood have drooping leaves from lack of water. In Socrates Sculpture Park, the river birches and the willows have many leaves that have turned yellow and are dropping, unsurprising for these two tree species that love damp bottomlands. Isn't it interesting how this lushest time of year is also a season of endurance, making it through the heat, waiting for milder days? Commemorations. On this day in 1985, French intelligence agents bombed and sank the Greenpeace ship Rainbow Warrior in the port of Auckland, New Zealand. The Rainbow Warrior was involved in campaigns against whaling, sea hunting, nuclear testing, and nuclear waste dumping. Greenpeace's strategies were often confrontational, actively interfering with activities that were harmful to the environment. In 1985, the Rainbow Warrior was in the Pacific to protest against French nuclear testing at the Mururoa Atoll in the Tuamotu archipelago. The French government agents who bombed and sank the ship in the harbor of a neutral country put a violent end to this mission. Today we celebrate a great feat. On this day in 2007, Erden Erich set off on the first solo human-powered circumnavigation of the Earth. Erich departed Bodega Bay in California, rowing across the Pacific. At every stage of his journey, he was self-powered, using a rowboat, a sea kayak, canoes, a bicycle, and hiking on foot. His journey took him across the Pacific to New Guinea and Australia, over the Indian Ocean to Madagascar, then across southern Africa. He rowed across the Atlantic to Venezuela, then up to Texas on the Gulf Coast. He made his final trek by land across the American West, arriving back at Bodega Bay 5 years later in 2012. Remember today Nikola Tesla, born on this day in 1856. The Serbian physicist and electrical engineer was a key figure in harnessing electricity, developing, among other things, alternating current and the Tesla coil. Parts of his last remaining laboratory still stand in Shum, New York, on Long Island's North Shore. Remember today Arthur Ashe, born this day in 1943 in Richmond, Virginia. One of the greatest tennis players of all time, he was also the first black player to win the singles titles at Wimbledon, the U.S. Open, and the Australian Open. We are honored that his name graces the stadium at Flushing Meadows. And finally, we wish a happy birthday to Arlo Guthrie, born this day in 1947 in Brooklyn, New York. Happy birthday, Arlo Guthrie. And that is the Observatory, Thursday the 10th of July, 2025.